Buongiorno, buonasera. Attempt number two. We're back. Unfortunately, we had a lobby glitch. Thank you to anyone who is back with us. Apologies for the delays. Codemasters and EA, please sort your stuff out. I had to stop myself saying something there. Anywho, we will continue as we were. We have a grid exactly as it was before. The qualifying results will obviously have mattered, so fear not. I'm rejoined as I was by Rob, aka Gene Genie, and we're going to go straight into the race. No formation lap, no dawdling about, and yes, hello Rob.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, still excited about this one. Hopefully, red flag a blessing for people like Neil, who he said had a real struggle off the line. I reckon all those people who are brave enough, like myself, to run without any traction control, are really struggling off the line. It's the hardest thing you'll do in the game. It took me ages just practicing starts, because without traction control, it feels like you're driving on ice right at the start, particularly if your tyres are cold. So, yeah, let's see how he goes with another bite of the cherry this time round.
Indeed. So, we have some flashing lights. Here we go. Attempt number two. Go, go, go. Connor, once again, what a start. Simba and B17 with flyers as well. Oh, no, we've got a car that was Mercedes at the back in the wall. Believe that's Paulo Costa. Anyway, Connor leads into turn one. Simba's up to P2. Connor flying away at the front. Oh no, B17's gone round in a cracking qualifying. He's just going to drop down the order here. Down to 8th place. We've just seen one of the AlphaTauris go into the wall. I believe it's Night Shadow. He's just lost it. Oh, what is going on? Everyone keep it clean. Now we've got Melvin in an Alpine sandwich with B17 and Purple Sector. Purple Sector's up a few places. Avanash makes a move now. Oh no, I lied. Avanash was off track, so he's going to lose all his positions. Oh no, Avanash. Right, so, Bat Maze off at Curva Grande. I've also realised we've only got 19 cars. We are missing a car, but we'll continue as we were. So, Connor running away. Simba just behind him in P2. Baby Hornets up to P3, by the way, I just realised.
Yeah, those two at the front are really edging away, and what Simba will want to do is want to keep in a second of Connor, because he's on the alternate strategy. Connor's on the mediums, Simba's on the hards. Simba will want to get that DRS train for his entire stint and hopefully make up the time when he's on the mediums later on in the race. But awful lot of time to go, and maybe there comes the car.
Indeed, AWS sponsored graphic coming up there, so the one stop is the simple easy stop option. Medium hard, hard medium, or if you're absolutely bonkers, hard intermediate, because why not? Anyway, so Baby Hornet's 6 places up. Neil's dropped from 1st to 4th. He's really struggling on exit of Rettifilio there, coming into Curva Grande. He's got Rob Smith all over the back of him, like, dare I say, like a tramp on chips? I've said that a few times in the past. But he's got enough speed to hang on into Della Roja's chicane, although Rob Smith is a bit twitchy in the exit. B17 looking to come back at him with vengeance. The medium tyres clearly heating up, like you mentioned there, Rob. Spot on. The medium tyres are heating up nicely, and the hards just a little bit twitchy. Shinsky, despite crashing out in qualifying, is up to P7. He's 8 places up, and RS10, last on the grid, having not qualified, he's up to 8th. He's a cracker of a start.
I think a lot Monza is about surviving one lap run. It was a bit of chaos, as there always is, and it sort of filters out through the field. If you can avoid that chaos, RS10 did, he suddenly finds himself in 8th, and now it's time to build your Grand Prix. No matter what happened in qualifying, you can really start making a name for yourself here.
It's a long race. Gav's got a front wing end plate missing. I can just see on the front right hand side of that AlphaTauri. That's not good. He will be understeering like a pig. He doesn't pit though, so he's going to continue. There's a safety car later on. Could give him an opportunity to pit and get back out in front. There's a bit of a train behind Avanash in P12 in that Ferrari. He's got Confetti Craig, Purple Sector, Man, Sambal, who are just on the side of the into turn 1. Let's stay with that. And Man has been passed by Sambal. Doesn't. Oh, hold on a minute. Is that Purple Sector's gone round? No! And we've got, everyone sort of lost a bit of traction on the exit there. Very hard corner to get traction out of. Especially, as you mentioned there, Rob, if you're running low on the assists. It is very tricky. Connor over a second clear of Simba, so as you mentioned, Simba needs the DRS train. Connor has pulled over a second. on Simba. So crucially, that DRS gap has been opened. Baby Hornet, mind you, in P3 on the mediums. He's not keeping with Simba at the moment, so that's vital for the outcome of this race. Neil is starting to drop back, still holding position on those hards. He's got the A17 all over him. Rob Smith, Jensky having their own little fight. Jensky's in the slipstream, and it's very powerful here, the slipstream. I'd argue the slipstream is more powerful than DRS here, to be honest.
Yeah, it's about using... Yeah, no, it's about using this and about managing your ERS around here. It's very easy to panic suddenly if you get out of that strip scene or outside of that DRS and really use it up. Once it's gone, super hard to get back. So you do it, and I do think that may be what Jensky will struggle with in the few laps, as he's absolutely in the red. That ERS light is flapping, and if he can't get past Rob Smith soon as he...
Rob's gone round! Oh no, Rob! Not sure what happened there, but it might well be brought up later. We just caught Jordan Byrne earlier as well, having to reverse back onto the track, so it's gone a little bit wrong for him. RS10 hunting down with Melvin, all over him too. They'll be hunting down after Jensky. Melvin very late on the brakes there. Back to the front. B17 has got past Neil, so Neil's lost a 4th position. B17 back to restarting P4. Good to see him fight back through. Melvin has retired. Is that going to be a safety car? He's lost it coming out of Lesmo 1. And that is a full safety car. We have got a full safety car. Melvin on the exit of turn 5, I believe it is. Sorry, turn 6, which is Lesmo 1. Right. Who would like some trivia? We love trivia, don't we?
Let's go for it.
Right, so until last week in the Netherlands, where I ran out of food options, I used to have the subject of local food for each race. Now, when in Rome or when in Italy, most people tend to think of pizza and pasta. In this case, I am most people. I love pasta, I love pizza. Rob, what is your favourite pizza? This is a very important question, I'm dying to ask you.
My favourite pizza, and this is gonna lose me friend the web. I'm a big fan of a Hawaiian. I am pro pineapple on pizza.
Well, Rob, I've got some news for you here. I'm pro pineapple too, so
get in.
You're in safe company here. And anyone who doesn't like pineapple on pizza, please feel free to pop that in the comments. I will ignore you, and if anything, I'm probably going to slander you. So, you know.
Gets a bad rap, but yeah, I love it. Anyway, yeah, sorry, carry
Mandy
on.
said no Rob, no Chris. I'm sorry, but actually I'm not sorry. Pineapple on pizza is fantastic. I'm a barbecue chicken kind of guy myself. If anyone fancies buying me a barbecue chicken, Domino's, Papa John's or Pizza Hut, feel free. Love it. Right, pasta. Okay, so obviously, you know, it's macaroni and cheese, carbonara, you know, anything in the Dolmio range, you know, look at our lasagna. There's just so many pasta combinations. What would be your go-to pasta combination?
My go-to pasta combination is a nice carbonara sauce with Frankfurt with hot dogs cut in. That's probably not how the Italians would want me to have it, with American hot dogs cut into my pasta. But trust me, I am that is the secret. That's my go-to pasta.
Well, it's interesting you've mentioned the Italian-American combination there, actually, because pizza, as we know it, the big circle thing with lovely goodness on top of it, that is an American invention. The pizza, as the Italians know it, is the calzone, so a folded-over version. So, your Italian-American... well, an American addition to an Italian creation, I can go behind that. Speaking of Italian-Americans... Mario Andretti, commonly known or thought of as an American in the Formula 1, was actually born in Italy and is one of many famous racing drivers from Italia to race in the Formula 1. Can you name several? So Rob, let's see, who can you pull out the bag here?
What, from Italian Americans or just Italian?
Just Italian.
F1 drivers.
Keep it simple. Okay. Italian racers.
Okay, so I'll go Antonio Giovinazzi is the most recent one. You've got Giancarlo Fisichella. You've got Ascari, of course, the last F1 Italian champion who's got those set of corners named after.
Farina, actually. I like Farina was Italian.
Oh, yeah, Farina, yeah. Jarno Trulli,
Yes.
Have I said him? I believe he's Italian.
He is.
I'm trying to work my way back now. Have I missed? I'm starting to run out. Have I missed anybody?
I'll give you one here that you're going to absolutely love. Luca Badoa.
Yep. Luca Badoa.
The common perception of Luca Badoa, look how bad you are, which people used to pun on his name because he stepped in 2009 following Felipe Massa's accident before being replaced by Giancarlo Fisichella. Another one that people forget often is Riccardo Patrese, who raced the Williams in the late 80s. Of course, me remembering the Williams driver, of course. So, as well as drivers, Italy's famous for many a brand in the world, like Fiat, Dacia, in particular the Sandero, if you're James May. But of course, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, Ferrari all have represented themselves in Formula One under various different periods in time. But my personal favourite team will always be Minardi. Not AlphaTauri, Toro Rosso, or Red Bull B, whatever you want to call them, but Minardi. I love Minardi. And I loved a good chunk of the Alfa Romeo race team. A good number of them actually were part of the team when it was Minardi too, so I quite enjoyed that.
Well, Minardi is where Fernando Alonso started his career at the back of the field, so it goes to show that just because you start your career at the back doesn't mean you are doomed to stay there for your entire career. He made his way to the front quite successfully, and I think there was just something about hearing Murray Walker saying, oh my goodness me, it's a Minardi, like right at the back. There was nostalgic memories flooding back. They hold a very special place in my heart. Another Italian team we forgot to mention, or at least one that is based in Italy, the AlphaTauris here, although you kind of associate them as a Red Bull team, they're based very near to the Imola circuit. That's often called their home race, and of course they've had great success here over the last few years with Pierre Gasly picking up his maiden win. So we'll see if Simba can help recreate that tonight.
Indeed. Of course, Sebastian Vettel won his first race for AlphaTauri's predecessing name of Toro Rosso, which obviously back in 2008 in the pouring rain. Cracking drive that was. Just looking at YouTube chat quickly, so Mandy was not happy with our choice about Hawaiians. Well, sorry Mandy, but deal with it. Geke Matthews is also not happy. Sorry Geke, but you're wrong. Calvin likes spicy meat feast. You know what, I can get behind that. Spicy meat is definitely the way forward. I'm all about that as well. Right. No, pineapple and puddings and fruit salad does not work. It's pizza and gammon and nothing else to me with pineapple. Anywho, back to, well, the secondary fact here, because food's more important than anything else. The second most important thing is we've got some cars on track. Connor is leading the field as the safety car has peeled into the pits. He's coming into Parabolica. When's he going to go? He's got a gap to Simba. He's gone early. Wow. Simba's been caught now. I'm sorry, no offence to Simba here. I've slated you a little bit, but you've been caught napping. Although Connor's having a little switch on the exit there, that's cost him a significant amount of time. Simba's gaining again now, but he's been caught napping. Baby Hornet all over the back of the AlphaTauri. Let's get some telemetry on because, frankly, that would help. Right. So the order is as it was. No moves that I can see in turn one, which is the best place really to go for a passage because the heavy brake zone from such high speed. If you've got some cojones, you can get the move done. So Connor leads, got just under a second to his title rival Simba. Well, speaking of Simba, Simon, aka Baby Hornet, my fellow lead fan, is all over him. Wow, very late was the brakes into the Della Roger chicane. Just behind him, B17, who's having a great race in your beloved Alpine, followed by Neil, whose hard tyres will slowly start coming good compared to the mediums. And we know how quick he is based on his pole position lap. RS10 having a cracking race from P6, having started last. He is of course a reserve as well, so he's having a great day. Really going to enjoy himself right now in the Mercedes. Stepping in for Dak Invertible, who is not here today unfortunately. Jensky all over the back of RS10 now. Rob Smith in P8 for McLaren, followed by Luke Kellogg himself actually raced Tiers 1, I believe he raced Tier 2, but he definitely raced Tier 1 on Monday as well, and did a very good job. Held me up for a couple of laps and annoyed me in doing so. Thank you, Kellogg's. Kellogg's is making a move, everyone! Go on, Kellogg. P7, lovely stuff, nice and clean. Meanwhile, behind, we've got Powerful Sector being chased by Avanash. Avanash having a look at the inside, turn 1. Very late on the brakes, and Avanash has made that look simple, to be honest. Oh, but he's gone wide on the exit. Oh, I've jinxed him. It's the curse. The curse is real, everyone. Purple Sector's got back ahead of Avanash. But Avanash's straight line speed is so much better. You just see the run he got out of, on the way into Curva Grande, despite the bad exit. That was an incredible difference in speed. Purple Sector now drops position. He's got Gav all over him. Will Gav pounce on him into Lesmo 1? He's brave as he does. Bergen corrects me, he did race both tiers 1 and 2, so this is Kellogg's 3rd race of the week. He should be a Monza Pro by now.
A lot of people reserving to that. Just one little bit of action that we lost. Just sorry, I've seen Night Shadow here.
He's just making a move under the old banking. Purple Sector's been done. His straight line speed is not great. I have to say, he's gone slightly wrong in setup. If I don't mind saying, no offence to you there, Craig, but I think you've gone a bit too draggy on the old setup. Or your foot needs to go harder to the floor. Next up, Paulo Costa's having a look at him into the Parabolica, so he's sitting duck on that straight. DRS now enabled for those who are within a second of the driver ahead. So Purple Sector might need that DRS to help keep himself in check with the guys ahead. Man is now having a look at him. Oh, I'm sorry, Craig. That's another easy move. This is the importance of getting a good setup. You need to have the good straight line speed at a track like Monza. Although Purple Sector, the very deep send there. He's had a collision with Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa's got a penalty for cutting the corner. I'm sure we'll hear about that later. We'll leave that be. Just realised Neil, by the way, down in P16, something's happened to Neil. We've managed to miss.
No, I was on board with him when it happened. He was just coming on the Parabolica. He was trying to get past Baby Hornet, I believe, and I don't know if it was cold, hard tyres, but he just lost the rear end and he's spun round. So unfortunate for Neil, but if anybody can fight back, it's going to be him.
Indeed. Speaking of a fight back, Simba's just closing the gap down to Connor, sorry. But meanwhile, Baby Hornet and B17 have just been side by side, so we're going to stick with these two for the moment. There's huge fights going up front, and Baby Hornet's had a moment coming out of Ascari because B17 is through, as is RS10. RS10 is up to 4th place, by the way. He's on for his best finish in MRC, unless I'm mistaken. And he's going to have DRS here on BS17. Could RS10 get himself into the podium positions? Let's stay on board with the Mercedes man. He has got Simon all over the back of him though, so it's more like he's going to get past than make a pass. Bat Mazo is out of the race. What has happened to Bat Mazo in the Parabolica? And we've got a full safety car, so now it's the awkward moment of who was ahead of who at the Delta regarding RS10 and Baby Hornet. Looks like Hornet's going to hold position here.
Yeah, I think that looks fair.
And everyone's just remembered there's a Delta.
So, if you're a medium runner now, do you think it's too early to go onto hards, or do you risk the cheap pit stop and go onto hards?
This is the perfect time. My prediction pre all the races was lap 12 pit on the medium and put the hards on and go to the end. 12 on the mediums, or 11, 12 on the mediums. 14 to 17 laps on the hards. Felt absolutely gravy. So, yeah, this is, for Connor, this is the moment that he's got to throw the hard tyre on. I'm going to be controversial here, saying that if I was Simba, I would really consider putting the medium tyre on right now if I were him. Know full well that Connor's going to have track position on you regardless of what you do here. Yep. Well, net track position anyway. I would put the mediums on and gamble on it surviving.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad shot either. As well, we've seen 2 safety cars already. We at least had a late safety car in Tier 2. I can't remember what happened in Tier 1. But sometimes you can just have stick a pair of softs on at the end and they get another free pit stop. So, yeah, I think they're not listening to our advice, taking track position.
Simba's not liking the idea, so yeah, fair enough. He wants track position. Confetti, Craig and Avanash also follow through. So Connor has pitted, as has Baby Hornet, B17, Jenski. Well, everyone with the exception of Jordan Byrne, Man, Avanash, Confetti, Craig and Simba has pitted. Everyone's putting on the hard tyre. Who is coming into the pits? It's the sensible move to make, of course. So we've got a train of cars coming out the pits. Hello everybody. Give us all a wave. Purple Sector, give us a little wave come out the pitch. Give us a little oversteery slide. No? Ah, shame. Sambal, I lie actually. Sambal hasn't pitted. He pitted pre-safety car, so that's why he's currently on the soft tyre. I think it's fair to say he's going to have to pit again with 16 laps to go. Night Shadow's on a five lap old set of mediums. Again, he could make those go to the end, but he will be struggling for grip. But he's at the back anyway. Neil on a brand new set of mediums. Again, he should be able to go to the end from there. So,
yeah, Neil's taken the gamble, hasn't he?
Yes.
Neil was on the hards to begin with, so yeah, he's taken the gamble that we said.
I think it's worth that personally. So, more fun facts about Italians. Right, well, obviously when we had the Austrian Grand Prix, I got in some trouble for mentioning world dominating figure who took over Europe in the 1900s. So obviously I'm not going to mention
Arnie.
Not Schwarzenegger, no, a different Austrian powerhouse, I should
He's
say.
Austrian. Toto Wolff.
He did have an Austrian-German alliance like Wolff did, although Mercedes-Benz weren't the alliance he had. Anyway, you could call him the father of that organisation he was within. But anyway, the one I'm going to comment on here is Mussolini. No, actually, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. I got in trouble last time, but let's not do this. Should we go down the route of other more recent Italian presidents who've been in trouble, like Berlusconi? No, let's not do that. Actually, no. We like Italians. Let's avoid it. Ice cream. There we go. That's a safe thing we can talk about. Ice cream, food. Of course, food's the saving grace. So, ice cream's, as we know it, what is it? Why does everyone associate ice cream with Italy? Because I know we've got like gelato, but is ice cream actually an Italian thing? I question this. What do you think, Rob? Is it Italian? I refuse to believe this.
I know that the Romans had it, who are, they're the OG Italians. So I think that's fair to say that maybe they invented the stuff. And of course, there's Napolitan ice cream as well, which is from Naples, that region as well. So I think they've got good reason to say that they are the home of ice cream. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of ice cream. My belly will attest to that. So hopefully some of the drivers here can have it as a little treat to reward themselves if they get a nice podium position tonight. I'm sure Connor in the Ferrari will be eyeing up a nice bit of a Neapolitana to reward at the end of this session.
Indeed. Safety car's coming this lap. Let's quickly hear it then. What is your favourite ice cream then, Mr. Genie?
The Italian favourite, which is Ben & Jerry's cookie dough. The
Italian favourite. Oh, yeah, it's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, I'll give you that.
Good.
If anyone's listening and fancies buying me some, I like anything with honeycomb in it. Feel free to bring me and Rob anything ice cream related. We'll probably just have it. Right, speaking of cold goodness, Simba doesn't want his tyres to be like ice cream and cold. He wants them like a hot deep pan pepperoni pizza. He is in the Parabolica. When is he going to go? Confetti Craig is right with him. He's gone halfway through Parabolica. It's a good place to go. He's caught Confetti Craig out slightly, but he's not too far ahead. Craigo has got Avanash all over him. Can Connor's teammate Avanash do Connor a favour and hold up some of the field so Connor can fly through? Avanash goes up the inside and makes the move into turn 1 on Confetti Craig. That was a very clean move from Avanash. Speaking of moves behind, Connor has got past Baby Hornet. Oh no, I thought he was already ahead. I lied. Connor is side by side with Man. He's got so much more speed as Connor. He's flying. Connor's up to P5. And that extra rub has really benefited. And now Connor will be looking at the back of that McLaren driven by Jordan Byrne. Can he get a move done to Lesmo 1? He'll be thinking about it. Bit tight and risky there, in my opinion, though.
There's other places to make the move. I think if he's just patient here,
he's got time on his side here. If I were Connor, I would just wait. He could have a run into Ascari here. He's quite close, but again, it's still risky. He's got to be really confident on the brakes. And he's gone for it. What a move. He's at the inside. Lovely stuff. That's 2 cars this lap dispatched by Connor. Next up, Confetti Craig. He is now only 3 seconds from the race leader Simba. Simba has yet to pit. Connor can go to the end. Right, people are wading in with their ice cream comments, so I've got to respond. Mandy likes strawberry ice cream, honeycomb and salted caramel. Ryan says ice cream is actually Persian from 550 BC. If that's true, that is our fact of the day. Hold on, Ryan's here.
That's it.
Ryan, you love Ferrari. The Ferrari fans here, everybody. Right, speaking of craziness, we've got Jordan Burns side by side with Bailey Horton. Someone, oh, that's a... Oh, we're going to hear about that later. Let's not talk about that. But I'm sure Bailey Horton would be very angry with what just happened there. B17 is now going to surely just fly past him through Curva Grande. And he does. I think we need to let that one be discussed later on. Oh, we've got all sorts of cars all over the place behind us. Jenski and RS10 side by side, and I believe Kellogg's went off as well. He's now side by side with Rob Smith, just avoiding any more collisions. Neil making his way back through the field. He's ahead of Man. Night Shadow trying to follow him through. They're now following Purple Sector and Paolo Costa. Oh, we've got cars around. Night Shadow's round as is Man. Oh dear. Let's go back to the front.
There, but...
So Connor hasn't quite made the ground on Confetti Craig or Avanash that we expected. That said, he is still in a fantastic position. Ryan likes the yellow additions on the Ferrari. That's one for the books. You know what, Ryan? I agree with you, and no, you said earlier the same, Rob. I think it looks fantastic. I'm a big fan. Right. So Connor is, as DRS now gets enabled, so next DRS zone he will have it. He's within a second of Confetti Craig. He's very close to the back of the Haas. Just further down the order, we've got a little bit of chaos here. Rob Smith being attacked by Kellogg's into turn one. Kellogg's goes to the outside line, and what a move he's made there. Fantastic. Now the two McLarens, where have we seen this before? Two McLarens fighting at Monza. Ricciardo and Norris Escus between Rob Smith and Jordan Byrne. Rob Smith on the much newer tyre. I think Jordan just needs to play the team game here and support his teammate. But it looks like he's going to go for a move up the inside into De La Roche's chicane. He does. That's very deep from Jordan. I have to say that was a bit deep. So Rob Smith gets the move back, and Rob Smith is... Sorry, and Paolo Costa's now got past Jordan Byrne as well. Yeah, it's all well and good making a move, but if you can't get the car stopped, you're going to lose more time going off track. Jenski, DRS wide open. He's got all of the flap in action. We love the flap action. He's side by side with RS10. Can he get the move done into Ascari? No, he's just too late on the brakes. RS10 makes the move, so takes the place back. The move is not complete. Back to the front. Connor has got past Confetti Craig. Apologies to anyone who's following Connor's progress. We have missed it. Connor back up to P3 now. Confetti Craig will have DRS on him and will attack him back. There's a flap opening in action. We love to see the good old flappage. B17 with the fastest lap of the race. He's clearly got some pace, chasing down after Confetti Craig. You can see him there just behind the Haas man. Connor will need to chase after his teammate Avanash and hope that he doesn't pose too much of a threat, as obviously they both hunt down after our race leader Simba. We have got a yellow flag in the first sector. It's RS10, he's had he's had two spins. That's a shame. He was running high in the points. He's having a great race up until that moment. He needs to be careful getting the car going, not to spin it again. Man is in the pits for Alfa Romeo, putting on a set of mediums. Simba just slowly extending to Avanash's lead, who, if you look behind Avanash, you can see Connor is gaining. But he is dragging Confetti Craig and B17 along with him. Ryan says a throwback to him fighting in a McLaren with a certain teammate in Austria. I think I know what you're referring to there, Ryan. It's our current race leader. Sorry, Rob, you were saying?
No, it's just that we've got the hard runners now. They're starting to get into the pit window now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see people like Confetti Craig taking this lap to dive into the pits. Let's see what Simba does now. No, he's staying out.
If I were Avanash, I would try and tag along or drag along Connor. Night Shadow has retired. He's had a crash somewhere. It's on the exit of Ascari. Crucially, Avanash has just slammed the brakes on to let Connor through. They see the risk of a safety car, and they don't want the Ferraris to be held up. Connor back to P2. Let's jump aboard with RS10 to see if we can see where Gav has lost it. It looks to be the exit of the final part of Ascari. Easily done. Oh.
Is that
we have not a full safety car. We've got a full safety car. Gav's car has despawned, but we have got a full safety car. So cars to slow down.
That's just played.
Simba's lapping
right
now.
Into Simba's hands, isn't it?
Actually,
yeah, and I said he should have picked up, but he stayed out, and yeah,
Actually, I'm not sure
decision.
because Simba here, if I were him, I'd put the soft tyre on now. It'll be 9 laps to go at the end of this lap. You can do 9 laps, including the safety car period. 9 laps on soft will be doable. But the crucial part here is, if you're Connor and you don't pit to get track position on Simba, and then everyone behind you pits, you're vulnerable. So I think everyone here really needs to consider coming in and popping on a set of softs, getting a soft on. I say some remarkable things. I should not be allowed to speak on the airs.
That's fine. It's better than getting a hard on. So I think we can just all move on from that.
I resisted saying it because apparently I say that too often. Apparently. So Simba's pitted. Connor has continued. Avinash has pitted. B17 continues. Baby Hornet continues. Okay, this is good for Connor here because the amount of cars continuing gives him a buffer for when Simba does rejoin. Simba's gone for the mediums. Avinash has gone for the soft. So Avinash is listening to me here. We like this. So half the grid has pitted, half has not.
I would be a coward. I would go for the mediums rather than the softs. The softs, the game says they're good for 6 laps. You say you can take them 9, and you probably can, but know that the fall off of them by the end is probably going to be, I would say it's going to be worse than the old hards by the end. These softs really fall off quickly in this new game.
The track position, especially on the restart, the amount of speed you can get on the restart is absolutely ridiculous.
So we'll see what Avinash can do and if he can get past Simba at all.
Indeed.
Let's see all those drivers.
Sorry,
I was just having a look at all the drivers that are currently on the hards from 1 to 6. They're all drivers who have earned their place, actually, at that top. They're all quick people. Sometimes you get the grid getting a bit shuffled up and you get somebody qualified in 18th, all of a sudden up in 3rd. All of those will be able to keep pace, so it will be quite tricky, I think, for Simba and Avinash to make their way through the field. Not impossible with that tyre advantage, but yeah, it might not be as easy as some of them might.
Yes, from here, Connor really is relying on, like you say, those guys behind him, the 5 cars that follow him. He's relying on them over the coming laps to really hold Simba, Avinash, Confetti Crave in particular. Those 3 looks really quick. He's relying on them to hold up, and obviously Avinash can do him a huge favour and fight Simba. Play the team game hopefully for the Ferrari boys. Avinash has got a penalty, so let's have a quick look at the penalties. So Sambo's got a drive through of serve after the safety car period. Purple section, John Burner both picked up 5-second penalties for various incidents, and then Avinash has got 3 seconds and only assumed for track limits. So that's interesting to see here. So obviously late in the race, especially this late safety car we've got now, these kind of penalties really do rack up and do cause a few issues. So let's just get the gap to the leader on here. So we have one more lap of this. Safety car should come in at the end of this lap. So what's your favourite Monza or Italian memory in Formula 1, Mr. Roberto?
I said Leclerc. I think Leclerc winning any Ferrari that wins at Monza is a special experience. I'm trying to think of some of it. Favourite. There's lots of memorable moments, lots of drama. I remember Hakkinen spinning out and losing from the lead. That was a dramatic moment. I remember.
98, wasn't it? Was it 2000?
Yeah. And I think that was like his tears on the side of the road. And yeah, you can't imagine what it's like to be in that position and throw it away, entirely his own fault, nobody else around him, which is such a shame. Of course, last year we had taking a trip onto the top of Lewis Hamilton's car and leaving a little bit of a mark on his helmet with his tyre, which that was Hydra. I do think the redemption of Daniel Ricciardo last year was another happy memory. I really hope it's not the last happy memory we see of him at the sport, because he's been a great driver and maybe one that just made the wrong moves for his career at the wrong time. Never quite got the chance to prove himself in the right car, but clearly he's been having his struggles with the McLaren. But yeah, hopefully he can find a seat next year and prove to us that he never went away.
Well, to quote what he said last year, for those who said I'm back, I never went away. Speaking of never going away, MRC, we never go away. Remember, we've got another race later on, Tier 4, and then we've got MRC X on Friday. But back to our chaos here. Connor looks like he's gone early. No, he hasn't. He was just slowly burning at the revs, and now he's gone. Oh, he's really caught B17 out there. Wow, that was very well managed by Connor. With B17 now under huge pressure, falling back from Connor. Under huge pressure from Baby Hornet and Jensky. This is what Connor needs. He needs these guys to fight and form a barrier. Simba's making a huge move up the inside into turn 1. It hasn't quite worked. Simba's got one move out of it. It looked like he'd made 2 or 3 places, but he's got past Paulo Costa, as has Avanash. Is Avanash about to make a move on Simba? This is crucial for the championship if he does get past, because Avanash can help Connor, his teammate. He's run outside into Della Roger. Is Simba going to make the move back into Lesmo 1 though? It looks like he's on the inside. And he's through. Back through goes Simba in the AlphaTauri. Meanwhile, Connor is running away up front. He's nearly pulled a second on B17. Jensky now looks vulnerable. Simba's got a much better exit out at Lesmo 2 on these nicer tyres. Jensky getting a nice slipstream off of Baby Hornet as well though. Right, Connor has got to fly like the winds right now. Confetti Craig picks up a 3-second penalty for track limit infringements. We've got Baby Hornet and Jensky side by side running down to Parabolica. Who's going to come out on top? DRS not in action for another lap or another couple of laps. Baby Hornet, excuse me. Excuse me. Baby Hornet takes the inside line. Excuse me, everyone. Sorry about that. Baby Hornet takes the inside line and just hangs on to position from Jensky. Simba's now all over the back of both of them. And so is Avanash. Simba's very late on the brakes. Can he hang on? Jensky just a bit, well, rubbing his racing, and Simba's lost a bit of momentum in that corner. He's lost position to Jensky. This is vital as Simba needs to clear these guys quickly. Does allow Avanash to have another go. He overtook Simba here into this corner last lap, but couldn't make position stick. Can Avanash get the move done again? Oh, and Avanash has hit the back of Jensky, and Jensky's into the wall. That looked rather unfortunate, however, I'm sure it will be reviewed later on. Kellogg's now all over the back of Avanash, who may have some minor damage on that. We didn't see any damage, but he might have picked some up. Simba is 4 and a bit seconds off of the race lead at the moment, following all of this calamity, you could call it. He's now got to chase down Baby Hornet and B17, and then chase after Connor. Can Simba on those newer tyres make up the time? Kellogg's P6 having a fantastic race. He's had 2 previously good races here this week, and he's having another one right now. So good to see Kellogg's fighting hard. Rob Smith in P7 is all over the back of the Williams driver though. Paulo Costa on the inside of Neil. Can Neil on those soft tyres make the move around him on the exit? He doesn't quite yet, but he's got the run now. He's got the traction, he's got the drive, and he's got the position.
I think what we're starting to see is those who stayed it out on the hard tyres are suffering, aren't they? Those medium and soft runners really then making their way up through the field. Now Definitely. The next 4 laps or 5 laps are crucial to see how they can make up on those ones as those tyres start to go up a little bit more.
So another crucial thing I've just seen here, Baby Hornet's dropping off from B17 and Connor. B17 is catching Connor, so we thought Simba was going to be the threat for Connor here. I have to say, Simba's not catching at the moment. He's still, after the last lap, he's only found 2 tenths, so Simba's really got to pull something out the bag here. B17, however, is fluctuating between 0.8 and 1.4 seconds between himself and Connor. We've got a yellow flag, by the way. It's cleared up now, which is all good. So if B17 can get in the DRS of Connor, maybe he could pose a threat for the race win from Connor. No, B17! I've just seen him go round at Ascari! No! Oh, Carl, that was unfortunate to see. We did just catch that. So, I've just jinxed him, so I take it back. Baby Hornet now 2.7 behind Connor, who's leading. It's a stewarding trio in the top 3. That's not... Everyone's come to... Oh, okay, this is a change for the race. Connor has just picked a 3-second time penalty for track limit infringements. He's 2.6 ahead of Baby Hornet and 4.0 ahead of Simba. We have got 4 more laps of play to go. This suddenly has just become a whole other dynamic. This isn't a whole other dynamic, it's the race now. Connor has got to absolutely push this now, because Simba, on those much nicer tyres, will start to find time on him.
Yeah, that gap, even though we said it wasn't really coming down, it's about 4.2 down to about 3.9 for Simba, and maybe it's a bit of an DRS game. Can he get into the DRS of Baby Hornet in front and manage his DRS and go for one big push on the final? For Connor, it's a time trial now. 4 laps. Go as quick as you can. You've got the ones out the way. Now you can really push it. You can cut 2 corners if you want.
Kellogg has just lost it at Lesmo too. Kellogg, he's having a good race. I'm jinxing people tonight. Neil's lining up the back of Rob Smith into Ascari. He's backed out of it. He's clearly fancying a move into Parabolica or out of Parabolica then instead.
He knows he's on 5 lap old softs compared to 12 lap hards. He's going to have the tyre advantage. I think he's just going to be patient into the Parabolica, and we'll see zoom past on that start-finish straight.
Yeah, so Neil should, with that DRS open here, have a nice easy pass. He's, like you mentioned, he's got much nicer tyres. This should be an easy move for him. Although, that said, his straight-out speed is not much better than Rob Smith. He's cleaving a little bit more on the aero. But he's still round the outside in the braking zone. Job done.
Very clean, very tidy.
Kellogg's meanwhile back ahead of Paolo Costa after his little spin at Lesmo 2. Although Neil was side by side with Rob Smith. Rob Smith's coming back at him in Stella Rossa.
He's not giving up, is he?
He's not. I'm going to have to cut back to the front, by the way, because Baby Hornet is now 1.6 behind Connor, who's clearly having some issues in terms of grip or confidence. Simba is within 3 seconds of Connor. So as it stands, Baby Hornet is now the one that poses the biggest threat to the win for Connor. Simba is also not out of this yet. We've got just over 2 laps to go. Simba is within DRS range of the Baby Hornet. Simon will be hungry to prove that he can take this win on well, not necessarily on the roads. He might not quite catch Connor, but the penalty will obviously put him ahead. So first and fourth for Ferrari duo would be a great result if it wasn't for the penalties that both drivers carry. Although the 3 seconds for Avinash, I believe, will put him only, well, actually, just a whole position, because Neil's got a penalty too.
Yeah, so I think it's fine for Avinash. It's Connor who's in the lead, but he's got a double threat, hasn't he? Baby Hornet's making up time on him, and every time he makes up time, Simba's in the DRS of Baby Hornet. He's getting well within 3 seconds. That gap down to 2 seconds now. So really good for Simba and Baby Hornet. One of these take over Connor. He's going to have to pull something spectacular out the bag in these last 2 laps.
Simba's tyres must be coming into their own now, because he is all over the back of Simon in the Alfa Romeo. He's going to have DRS down on the run to Ascari under the old banking. Will Simba make a move here, or will he wait? Simba's got a luxury here that he can play the percentages. He can wait. But will he? Yeah, he's backed out of it. He doesn't want to make the move here. Understandably. Because if he makes a move that's a bit risky, he runs the risk of spinning and gifting the win back to Connor.
A very wise move there from Simba, playing a long game.
Yeah, he doesn't need to take any unnecessary risks here. So Connor's extending his lead while these two fight, which is good for him, of course, but ultimately, we are on the last lap. He needs to put another just over a second to the cars behind. This is a move that could potentially decide the race. Baby Hornet's out of ERS. Simba has got some. Simba's round the outside in turn 1 and has got the move done. He's got the car slowed down. It's a textbook simple DRS pass. Simba is into P2, and that is the net lead after Connor's penalty would be applied. There was a slightly outside chance here that Simba could even take this on track here. On the run down to Ascari.
In a second now. Yeah, and he's got 2 more. He's got 1 more DRS zone, hasn't he, left to go? So let's see what he can do in that final one through the Lesmos.
Everyone always wants to take it on track. He doesn't need to, but will he think, why not? He's got much nicer tyres, so he's within DRS range, of course. He's only 0.8 behind. I don't think he'll get the move done, but he'll want to push Connor. Connor, he's out of ERS mind, actually. I've just seen Connor is flashing on the ERS, so could Simba get a move done into Parabolica? Could we see these two come together? Have I just jinxed that? Have I just made it happen? That would be an ending for the books, wouldn't it?
It would, but I don't think if I was Simba, if I was a betting man, I would be very sensible here. I've got 2.4 seconds to play with.
Yeah, he doesn't need to take the risk. So Connor will take the win on track, but it is Simba who wins your Tier 3 race here at Monza and takes the fastest lap on the last lap as well. Baby Hornet inherits second place following Connor's penalty, who drops down to third. Avinash takes fourth on track and hangs on for fourth. Rob Smith takes fifth. Neil drops to sixth following his penalty. B17, who was in the mix for the potential win, had he not spun, bear in mind how close he was to Simba, he might well have actually taken the win. He finishes P7. Paulo Costa returning to Mercedes today, P8. Jensky in the Haas, P9. Man, P10. RS10 had a good race. Again, wasn't for a spin. He'd had some good points today. He takes home P11 with Luke Carlos in P12. Eventful day for Tony the Tiger. Oh, wow. Who's your driver of the day today, Rob?
Oh, well, I think I'm going to have to give it to Simba. Boring again for the race win, but he managed that one really well. He did everything right. He got lucky with the safety car when it came, but the hard runners also got lucky with the medium runners at the start got lucky with the safety car when it came for them. So I think everyone sort of balanced it out in the end, and he was able to keep it clean, take calculated risks, and yeah, he's a well-deserved first place for me.
Yeah, I hear you there. He's had a great drive, to be fair to him. It's hard to argue with that. Personally, I think Baby Hornet 9th to 2nd and Avinash 12th to 4th. They're the two. Yeah. I'm torn between those two, so I'm going to give it tied to Avinash and Baby Hornet. It's fantastic drive from both of them to come through the field. So just a quick touch up here on the results. So obviously we mentioned the points. Outside the points, we've got RS10, Callows, John Byrne, Sambal, Purple Set, and then followed by Purple Sector, Confetti Craig, Night Shadow, Buck Mazer and Melvin, all unfortunately not reaching the flag. Just a weekly reminder that how significant penalties can be to your race time. Obviously, unfortunately, on this occasion, it's cost Connor the race win. He'll be kicking himself, I'm sure, but he'll come back fighting. He's still got good points for the team there. Like I said earlier, we have got Tier 4 action coming up very shortly. Just 19 minutes, so go and get yourself a cup of tea, come back with some Sunny D or something else, ready to go again. I believe the commentary team is Connor, and actually, I'm not sure who Connor's with. Apologies, I probably should know this. And we've also got MRC X on Friday. We had Formula 2 cars last week. We're back in the Formula 1 player cars this Friday, 7:30. We will be live once again, mix of all of our tiers. Definitely one to watch because, well, if you've seen here again tonight, anything can happen. But yes, thank you again, Rob. It's been joyous to spend an evening with you, as of course, as always.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for your delightful tones and insights. Thank you for anyone who's watching. Have a lovely evening and take care.
Good night.